Hi everybody and welcome to the End Channel video blog. And today what I want to get into is what I found on Kijiji. Now this was an awesome score, and what it is a tool set from an industrial electrician who's getting out of the business. So let's just get right into it and see what I scored. Now the first thing that was thrown into the deal was the ADT IR. And what this is an infrared probe for your Fluke or any other multimeter you're using. And what it does is it sends a DC signal to your multimeter, and from there you just convert it over to degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit. And it's an awesome ratio of 1:1. So right now I got set to degrees Celsius, and as you can see 19.1 degrees Celsius in my lab. It's a really huge tool into addition of what your multimeter is capable of doing. Now the weird thing about this is they've done away with the style, and now you can only buy dedicated infrared guns. But the thing is, I like how this thing is tiny in comparison to most guns. It's got no weight to it, it's got nothing to it. It's just extremely small. So for my tool bag, this is definitely something I'm going to be keeping. I will not resell this because this tool right here is just awesome and you can't get it anymore. I really like this find. Now the next item he threw into the deal was the Fluke i410. Now I didn't test this at this house, but it wasn't working, so I tried to pull a shoddy deal here. And all it was a loose terminal connection right there. So I busted out the soldering iron, and no problems. I have a working i410 multimeter clamp attachment. And now this is a huge tool, because not only can it measure AC current, but it can also measure DC current. I'm really fond of this tool, and it just allows quick analyzing and safe analyzing of circuits. Huge find, and I really think this made the deal. Now the next tool he threw into the deal was the TES 1600 insulation tester. Now what this does is allows you to establish if there's an insulation quality to your conductor. So this will allow you to determine if there's going to be a short on the circuit or anything like that before it arises. So you don't have to power up the circuit at all in order to establish that. And this thing has a range of up to 200 mega ohms. As well as that, it can also test under voltages as well. For example, right now I'm outputting a signal from this unit into my multimeter, 1000 volts DC. And how it does that is a flyback transformer, and it just regulates it in using a bridge rectifier, and from there you get a constant DC stream. So it's a really nice ability of this tool where you can test the insulation quality as well as actually apply voltage. Now it has the range of 1000 volts DC, 500 volts, and 250 volts. Now this thing also has some other features. It can function as a continuity tester and a low impedance measurement. So if you want to do 0 to 200 ohms, it can measure from that. So it's not like a 4-terminal resistance check or anything like that. It's just a little bit more diversity to what this thing's capable of measuring, as well as AC measurements as well. It's a really handy tool, but I'm really looking forward to testing insulation and just seeing the qualities I can establish of the system before actually powering it up. Really great find. Now the one thing that for sure called me out to this deal was the Uae Dm 397 multimeter. Now what this is a data logging multimeter that allows you to do a whole bunch of measurements and record it. And unlike the Fluke 289, it comes with the software as well as the terminal connections in order to get it to the reading. Now I gotta point this out because I'm really hoping the manufacturer clues into this. You see this connection right here? It's ancient, it's prehistoric, it's not used. My new laptop, I already gotta buy an adapter to get this patch cord working for my system. So I haven't been able to test out the software itself. But I'm extremely impressed for this. It's got some really cool features to this multimeter, and it's really well thought out. First one I really like is when you're taking AC measurements and you do a lot of VFD works, it also displays the frequency. So it's really cool that you can measure, the strength of the signal as well as the frequency coming out of it. Really cool feature and just a really rugged design. I know it's got a real retro feel to it with the green and the black coloring, but it just really does translate well. Really impressed by this multimeter. Definitely great asset to this deal in total. Now of course I'm really happy about this deal. Mainly I paid $200 for this Canadian. So right here, the Uae Dm 397 multimeter, the price tag was justified on that alone. This multimeter is about $300 new, and it's barely been used by the operator. It came in the box, it had the screen cover on it, it was really great shape, and it obviously holds up for testing abilities. And everything in this deal is just really unique. The insulation tester is a tool I'm really eager to test out at work, and determining the insulation qualities of all my new installations and all that stuff. It's going to be really nice. I usually did that with a multimeter, but now I know I have a really good way of testing, because now I can hit those high voltages as well as establish if it's in the mega ohms of where my multimeter won't be able to hit. Next is the clamp here. I love this tool. It is the fastest tool I've ever used. It is a safe tool, and it's a really diverse tool, and it really expands the operating range of your multimeter. Great addition. Really glad to have another one of those so I can have one in the lab and one at work. Great, huge, massive deal for me. Lastly is this infrared temperature probe. I really like this because you can't get it anymore. That right there makes this for me. And what I like about it is it really diversifies what your multimeter is capable of doing and it's got no footprint to it. It has no weight and it has no size at all. So I'm definitely going to be throwing that in the tool bag because it does have all those qualities to it. Anyways guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and enjoy your week.